Hi Scorpio, hope you guys are doing great today. Let's get right into your general messages. This is going to be a tarot only read for the first half of June. I've done a bunch of other videos having to do with the astrology, the retrogrades, the eclipses, Black Moon Lilith that you guys could check out. Let's just see what the energies say for these first 2 weeks. Remember, these are messages in general. Please take what resonates, throw out the rest, and don't try to make it fit if it doesn't. The energies could always be reversed. So what I say about you could be the deal for your partner, could be the deal for somebody that you're working with, or obviously vice versa in that. Okay, so let's see what we have. So we're going to do the past, present, near future, final outcome, and some qualifiers. Then we'll pull some astro dice, and we'll pull some love oracles at the end for those of you in a space of relationship. I'm going to interpret these for relationship as well as career and other things that might be going on, right? General messages. Okay, so starting out, so let's talk about what's been happening in the recent past. So we have the King of Wands, and this could be happening right now because this does cover the first 2 weeks of June. So please apply the energies as you see fit. But the King of Wands reversed, the Cancer and Leo energy. So this energy indicates a time of restriction, when you couldn't get others to see your point of view. Equally, you may have been going against your own intuition if you felt that you weren't following your right path. You know, there was a need to drop the self-pressure and to open up to alternative routes on how to think about things, your perspectives of life, your belief system. I'm getting a very ninth house energy vibe from this, having to do with your belief systems. This also indicates kind of almost like a bullying or selfish, opinionated, so just some kind of person who's very, very obsessive and narrow-minded, who's hyper-focused on the rules of something. The rules, that ninth house energy, right? That Sagittarius ninth house energy. So this could be you, or could have been somebody who you were dealing with, but either within a relationship or career, or even a friend or family member. But this energy doesn't want to listen to anyone who doesn't agree with them, right? And is very full of self-interest, determined to get their own way, really kind of sticking their heels in, because wands are will and motivation. And whenever we have that reverse, remember, because it's a Cancer and Leo energy, whenever we have a Leo energy reverse, we have to watch out for ego. Whenever Cancer is reversed, we have to watch out for somebody not maybe being completely forthcoming, because Cancer is ruled by the moon. And the moon is everything that we do in private, right? So we want to be careful of that. Also, just this inherent feeling of like not feeling safe in a certain aspect of your life. Could be relationship, it could be career, or some sort of family situation. Okay? And clarifying that, we have the Three of Swords in reverse. So Saturn and Libra energy. Saturn is about restriction and delay and challenge, right? Libra is that seventh house of relationships. So this is similar to the upright energy, though, except it's accompanied by quarrels and drama, right? So in a sense, despite the upheaval, though, this gives a more positive meaning in the reverse than in the upright, because at least things are being expressed here, right? And there's some, like, the confusion and the pain is shared. Sort of, it's released, everything is sort of put out on the table. So those around you are going to realize and recognize your need to vent about something that you're feeling has just been really, really troubling you, that's been paining you in some way. The upright of this energy does reveal the pain of a truth, right? So the clouds of doubt are cleared here, and you could do nothing here in this energy, Scorpio, but you had to face the pain of a truth, right? There was, that this is a common energy for like relationship betrayal, but it can also indicate anything where you feel betrayed, the sense of disloyalty, right? In other areas of your life, such as work relationships or even business dealings. But again, on a more positive note, you do get right to the heart of the matter. So any confusion is taken care of, and where you ended up in a position where you began to move on from the level of shock or the level of betrayal, right? To begin the healing process to move forward. Now, this betrayal could have happened months ago, if not even a year ago, right? But the idea here in the recent past is that you're coming to terms with it. It's like that betrayal energy didn't have to happen recently. It could have, right? But this is a general message. It's certainly relevant if it happened within the past year, let's say, right? But it's only now that you're actually having the conversations, and because these are conversations, things are being discussed here in this energy, or at least realize if you're not able to speak with the people who ended up, betraying you. Now, in the current situation, look at this. We have the Sun. This is so nice. I mean, this is beautiful. This energy brings success and achievement. It is one of the most positive cards in major arcana. Anyway, if you've had a challenging time, the Sun shows that really every aspect of your life is going to improve. You'll just enjoy more energy. If somebody close to you has been suffering from health problems, it does indicate recovery, return to good health, which is really good. Energy and growth is happening here. Any projects you've been working on right now, it's a great energy to nurture them, and really try to cultivate them. Any business endeavors you've been thinking about, really good energy to really try to crystallize whatever vision you're seeing in your mind. This also indicates good news about children in general. Also, just spending happy times with people who make you feel good, make you smile. Some of you may be reunited with an old friend. Many of you may be reunited with an old partner, or even a family member who you haven't seen in a while. Having to do with home, because it's a major arcana, so let me connect it to home, relationship, and career. So in relation to the home, you could feel very comfortable and secure in your home right now. You may even feel like entertaining more than you've been, and even though we're not allowed to have big parties, but just whatever that means for you, depending on where you live. In relationships, partnerships are really well under this energy, right? Where you really enjoy your time together. There's a deepening here. You guys might be taking some sort of short day trip, just kind of get away from the pressures of just like the nonsense that's going on in the world right now. Having to do with career and money. This does not specifically predict anything having to do with money per se, but it does indicate a position that's going to help you generate more money, if that makes sense. Because the sun is shining on your career as you get the acknowledgement that you very much deserve. So really good energy to bask in some kind of success. So I do like that. Now check it out. We have the Sun, and then clarifying that, we have the Tower reverse. So hang in there and just, because I'm getting that this is actually a really positive thing. The Tower is similar in reverse to the upright, just with the additional emotion. So let's just talk about the Tower is, and then we're going to connect it to the Sun. So this energy can impact in so many ways. So I'm just going to give you a number of examples, and maybe you'll resonate with some of them, but at least you'll get the idea. It comes in as some kind of sudden change, showing the collapse of an ideal, a dream, a job, even a relationship. But whatever change happens is inevitable due to things beyond your control. You have to understand that, right? Because the energy is moving you out of something that you don't belong in anymore. And this is a type of release that happens where something comes to light. There's this illumination, right? Okay. Now, having to do with the Tower, this is this abrupt change to circumstances. So a property you hoped to move into doesn't materialize if it has to do with your home, or you encounter delays to a building project, for example, okay? In relationships, a secret could come to light. That may be really shocking, and it's time to let go of whatever unhealthy pattern you were entrenched in a relationship, right? Just letting go of that. Equally, you may experience a very intense physical or spiritual attraction, which has a profound impact on your day-to-day orderly existence, where it's almost consuming you. Do you know what I mean? That kind of energy. Having to do with career or money, there could be some reconstructing of a business for sure, but it does signify a change in career. So, with the reversal, though, you may be finding yourself taking responsibility even when you're technically blameless, and that's a very loaded term, blameless, to be blamed, whatever, but where things were just happening in your world and you were just trying to process, and it was like you just couldn't process everything either quick enough, well enough, or in a way that felt morally okay to you, right? So this could show that maybe you've held on to a career, a project, a relationship that just wasn't strong enough to stand the test of time. But guys, this could also be you not being able to hold on to a thought process, a way of thinking anymore, where life was presenting you with things where you were realizing that how you were framing reality wasn't serving you anymore. A belief system that you had wasn't serving you anymore. So these are things that's going to resonate for some of you, all right? But the collapse of that thought system, that relationship, that career was inevitable. So you can't feel totally responsible for these the forces rather, that are like almost outside of your control. This is all about surrendering what no longer serves you so that you can end up in that metaphorical home spot. And you have the sun here to help you. And when I reference thought process, and then I follow that up with saying, well, it's not your fault. Well, then you say, well, my thought process, I guess technically is my fault. Well, no, because sometimes it's the way we process our belief system. This could have to do with things happening in our life where we're realizing that maybe our religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs are not in alignment with how we frame reality now. So there's this need to revisit these areas and these belief systems. So this is not to say that every Scorpio is going to have your relationship fall apart, lose your job, and all of this stuff. So that's why I'm giving you these different elements of how it can end up manifesting. But regardless of how it does, guys, you have the sun to help you. So whatever's leaving needs to go anyway. It's got to go. And this is really, to me, because I'm getting this very heavy ninth house vibe, and that's his home of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the south node that we're dealing with right now. I did a video on that if you want to check it out and how it's directly impacting you more specifically. But this is the vibe I'm getting right now. So there's a lot of change going on. There's a lot of change going on with Scorpios right now, having to do with belief systems. So let's look at what's going on now in the near future. We have the Four of Cups energy. Okay, so for those of you looking for a relationship in this energy, this does show like a sense of disillusion, like a disillusionment, right, is more of what I want to say. This often comes up if you've been hurt in the past and you protect yourself with this checklist, right? I always call this checklist card, where you find yourself instantly rejecting, maybe without even realizing it, anyone who doesn't live up to your exacting standards. And to the degree that even if like the most fabulous red thread is what I call it, a lot of people call it soulmate energy, came up and was just like right in your face, you wouldn't recognize their potential. And I call this the will I ever meet anyone I like card, and the answer is yes, and you can and you will, but it's time to risk opening up emotionally again. You may think you're ready for love, but there may be some past issues still left to heal here. So if you're in an established relationship, this does show some of you may feel a little tinge of boredom. That's going to resonate with some of you, but this may be a phase, right? And if so, it's just time to inject a little bit of romance into your relationship. Otherwise, you might end up finding yourself staying in a relationship out of habit, which you don't want, right? And in work and home life, this does show a static situation, right? You might feel bored with your job, or you might need to make a positive change in your environment. A lot of people are feeling this, right? Because of the pandemic. Even a little change, a little small something, will go a long way in this energy, making you feel like at least you're moving forward. So look around for some much needed inspiration, because it's not far away at all. And then we have that followed up with the Seven of Pentacles clarifier here. So there is a goal in sight, and if you're close to achieving it, now is not the time to stop and reflect, okay? So you don't want to hyper focus on any of the negativities of anything that you're working on right now, okay? The energy in this is a card of doing, right? Not sitting back, not pressing the pause button, not philosophizing. So just really keep your focus on what you want and believe that you can achieve it. The effort in this energy can be a little, I'm not even going to say negative. It's almost like relentless, where you just feel like all you're doing is working, or all you're doing is plugging away at something, or all you're doing is like stealing from Peter to pay Paul, or plugging holes in, right? It was like, where there's like water leaking and you're just plugging holes, kind of like that kind of energy. But your hard work is going to pay off. This often does show up to indicate that you need to really stay very focused on your career goals, or your goals of something that you're working on, right? But you're going through a very tedious stage in the current project, or the current job, or whatever current level that you're at, and you might feel like a little deflated, tired, and even defeated in a way where it's like, oh, not again, or not this now, right? So just the relentless of it all. But don't falter, because honestly, this is a really good energy, meaning it's a good moving forward energy. So this could also show saving for a home, accruing funds and clients to expand a business. Any kind of domestic situation, this could show that there's not enough money left for like the little luxuries to make all the effort of all the saving worthwhile, or all of what you have to put into your home worthwhile. But whatever your situation, keep going, because you're almost there. Your future self is going to definitely thank you for the dedication that you're going to be showing now. So that's really good. All right, so yeah, a little like kind of energy, right? Sort of in like mid-June, but nothing horrible. So just hang with it. Now let's see the outcome that we have here. Okay, we have Temperance, and then we have the Wheel in reverse. So let's look at Temperance. So to me, this shows that you're dealing with what will potentially be a volatile situation, and you need to temper your thoughts and actions to find balance and harmony. But it is the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius. So again, lots of Sag energy hanging with the Scorpios right now, I feel like. But this is not a bad thing, right? Because healing comes through Temperance. This is about choosing neither one or the other, but the need to blend two opposing forces that you're going to be dealing with, quite possibly with somebody else or a situation. Okay, so I'm just saying opposing forces, whether it's a person or a situation. And you're going to have to create an inspired solution for something. So this is also asking you to not resist, though, right? To accept both sides of a situation, meaning your needs, their needs, and what maybe the greater good needs. So, for example, if this has to do with a career, what are your needs? What are your boss's needs or the company's needs? And what is necessary to complete your job or your task or the project? If this is in a relationship, what do you need? What do they need? What does the relationship need? Right? And it's just a matter of, it's a beautiful alchemical card, actually, right? Where there's this blending of needs, and there's a lot of cooperation happening here, which is nice. But this does indicate that it was time to reconcile an area of your life that's been really out of sync for you. So really, this does indicate you need to be hands-on in a way where you're really able to analyze what you need to do right now, in order to make the situation better. It's a great energy for those of you working on any kind of creative project, because what you imagine now can be creative. So it's a really great energy, and as far as that goes. But, again, major arcana. So let's just talk about, home, relationship, career, and home. This does indicate that you may be dealing with demanding children or demanding partner, and you end up feeling like you're doing one big balancing act. But you are going to end up in the end having the emotional and financial resources to deal with whatever is coming up in that area. So don't worry about that, okay? Now, as for those of you in relationship, this is reaching a new level of trust, which is really good. Those of you who are single, this does indicate you possibly meeting a new partner. It is an emotionally intense time, though, for sure. And having to do with career or money, you may be dealing with a difficult or highly sensitive person or people, where you're going to need to be very diplomatic so you can work some kind of necessary miracle to make something, smooth something over having to do with work. Definitely a time to pay extra attention to your income, though, Scorpio. Okay, in this outcome energy, meaning you're going to have what you need, but it's going to require you really paying attention to incoming versus outgoing kind of things in this energy. All right, and then we have the Wheel reverse. So Jupiter energy, all right, in reverse. So when the wheels reverse, you might suffer some kind of bad luck, but thankfully this marks the end of a run of challenges. So in this way, the simple interpretation of this is closure. There's closure going on here. The benefit of the upright is going to come. It's just going to take a little longer to gather momentum and move forward. On a spiritual level, this energy can show a lack of confidence in your intuitive messages or a false start when choosing a way to spiritually develop. Keep working on your goal, though, because I am sensing, a lot of you guys are going to be questioning your belief system. Again, that ninth house energy, should you trust yourself? But just understand, this is a temporary energy because of the South Node energies for you. I do feel like that is hitting some signs, and it's impacting everyone. First of all, everyone. And it's going to impact every Scorpio differently, depending on what else you have in your chart, obviously, and where Sagittarius is hanging out and Gemini hangs out in your chart. But an end of a bad cycle is coming. So again, we're energetic beings. We have the power to turn any reverse energy upright. We just have to ride this out a little bit, guys. But I do feel like this bad luck, such a cheesy term, but it's going to be tempered by the Temperance card. Do you follow? I mean, that's how these energies work. So we have the Temperance card, which is about cooperation. We have the ending of a cycle. How is the cycle going to end up ending and turning upright for you, where you can get that benefic Jupiter energy, is going to be through cooperation. It's like that's the antidote for it. And it's really addressing wherever there is imbalance in your life right now, needs to be addressed. So let's check out what these guys have to say. We have Saturn, we have Pisces, we have the first house of belief system. Yeah, Pisces is that 12th house energy of self-undoing. But let's talk about Pisces. Pisces is a fellow water sign. There's a lot of emotion there. They're the eldest of the zodiac. This is about going deep. This is about going deep in order to see things, Scorpio. And you guys are really good at that, right? This is about checking out in order to check in. You understand what I'm saying with that? Checking out in order to check in, and really getting in touch with those emotions. And then we have Saturn here. And while Saturn might seem like a little bit of a challenge, right? What we like about Saturn is when Saturn allows cycles to end, when we get to that point, the benefic energies, yes, and I'm saying benefic with Saturn, even though everybody considers it only malefic, it's not only malefic. When we make it through the Saturn energies, which can be challenging for sure, the most beautiful blessings are on the other side that last decades and decades long. So this is really, in the first house is the house of self. So you're really going to be go deep with yourself, go deep. And look at the challenging aspects. Remember, what is Saturn? Saturn is karma. Saturn is the past. So you're being asked to address the past. Go deep and look at the past. Go deep and look at the past and see where the imbalance is in your life, and see how it might be applying to your day-to-day right now. I mean, I think that's it's a very deep, this is a deep reading, but I think it's very profound, and this is going to be an important time period for you guys, which I think is really great. So for those of you in the space of love, open to love, wanting love, let's pull a few oracles, see what we get. Freedom. A lot of cards are getting that. A lot of signs are getting that. Freedom, there's nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. It is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on another, now is time to give to yourself. Let's get a couple of tarot. And we're only going to look at these in the upright. I'm going to look at these in the upright because we're doing oracles in the upright. Five of Pentacles. Yeah. Knight of Cups. Okay, nice. King of Wands. Good. I like that. So I'm getting here, you're in a space of lack. The Five of Pentacles is that feeling of lack, that you're not feeling very supported in relationship. You're feeling like your voice is not really heard. It's a very mental energy, very mental. And then we have the Knight of Cups, somebody coming in and offering you something, right? Somebody coming in, Scorpio and Sagittarius. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is an Aquarius and Pisces energy. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wands and I'm getting I'm throwing the Knight into the wand energy here. Aquarius and Pisces energy. So I do like this because Aquarius being ruled by Uranus is all about something being different than what it is right now. It's about this solution for the future. It's very forward thinking, right? Because Uranus rules the future. Aquarius is, what are you doing now? We're going to do something different. And Pisces is, what are you dreaming of? What kind of relationship do you really want? And so it's somebody coming in and offering you a different perspective, a different way of doing relationship. Now, for some of you, this can be actually meeting somebody brand new if you're feeling very lonely right now, right? Somebody coming in and wanting to offer you their cup. For others of you, this could be if you're in a challenging cycle within a relationship, your partner coming in and saying, you know, Scorpio, why don't we do things differently moving forward? Why don't we try things this way? Or this could even just be that conversation that's really necessary, where there's a sharing of emotions, which is really beautiful. And then we have the King of Wands, right? Which is the Cancer and Leo energy. And I love this, right? I love it because, you know, Leo is about... First of all, it's a very passionate energy, right? And it's a motivation to move on, and it's a motivation to really work at this. It's a Cancer energy, and Leo. Cancer rules the fourth house of home and family. So there's a lot of motivation in that area. It also indicates a feeling of safety. And then Leo is that fifth house of fun, having to do with connection. Fifth house has to do with lovers, right? It has to do with how we relate with our partner, things we do for fun with our partner. It has to do with sex, right? So it's a really beautiful connecting energy, even though there's this passion there, right? Because it's a wand energy and there's Leo involved, but there's also Cancer there. So there's safety and there's that nurturing kind of love as well. So I really like how this progresses, but it does seem like you guys are starting this period feeling a little maybe a little lonely, right, in the relationship sector, or feeling a little misunderstood, or not feeling connected. Even if you feel like you still love your partner very much, but you don't feel like you guys are connecting in the way that you would really like. But it does look like there's going to be this sense of rectification in that area. So that is really good. But you're in this space coming into it. It really is this idea of, you know, stepping back and taking some time by yourself, you know, where you went through something, there was some turmoil. It does look like something went on here and that made you feel very disconnected. But I do see either a new energy coming in or a solution in a current relationship. So that is what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope this was helpful for you in some way, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.